All right, let's get a check on the crypto market now. Let's get a sense of how it's trading. We know it's mostly red right there in the market. This time yesterday it was mostly green, but if we look at the screen now, we see it's mostly red on the screen. The opposite of what we had yesterday with Bitcoin giving up about 1.11% there. Big drop there. Ethereum also in the red, just a few pockets of green. With Phantom, looking quite good there with a market that's full of pullbacks right now. Let's look at the sentiment now. How are investors feeling? How are the traders feeling? If you look at the fear greed index, that gives a sense neutral. So it was 50 at this time yesterday, but now it's 49 points, showing that traders are still trying to gauge the market. They're not bullish, they're not bearish, just smack in the middle there. So let's look at the top cryptocurrencies now that we track. We see the likes of Bitcoin there, 1.11% pullback. 1.42% for Cardano, that's ADAS, maintained this level for the longest time. XRP still acting like a stable coin at this point at 52 cents, 1.16% down. BNB also $571. Let's look at the top stories in the market. Now we see the total crypto market cap that's plunged by about 3.5%, and that's according to data from Gecko. So when you see that market cap going down, you know it's a big issue. If you look at the headlines, then Bybit, that's a cryptocurrency exchange. Bybit there launching a Sharia compliant account. That's for traders that like to trade under such accounts there. So see Bybit there launching that. Then we see FTX. Their funds payback there. You know that embattled cryptocurrency exchange, FTX, they've gotten go ahead to distribute most of the funds belonging to most of the users there. So that payback is ready. Let's see if it's going to trickle down to some of the users in this part. Let's bring in Olumide Additional now, financial market analyst. Hello, Olumide.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Olumide. So we see FTX, they have the nod now to give back most of those users the funds they had trapped on the exchange. Do you think some of the users in Nigeria will be getting their funds back?
Definitely, a substantial amount of Nigerians will definitely get it. But the issue right now is that the amount FTX is planning to raise was tokens quoted at the time of crisis. And you recall that Bitcoin at that time was $16,000. So a lot of creditors and customers are not happy about the payout plan. But looking at the dynamics in the crypto markets, you could see that Bitcoin has been unable to shrug off the Middle East conflict and the narrative that the US Fed might be hawkish in the next Fed meeting. And that's why you can see that Bitcoin has been, particularly the bulls have been unable to hold the 65,000 support level categorically this month. And looking at the month to date, looking at the optics around altcoin market, I think it's worse. Ethereum has shown a year-to-date negative exposure, despite the fact that Bitcoin is still hovering around 43% year-to-date gain. And the Memecoin atmosphere also seems to be dying, despite the fact the Ton blockchain has brought in interesting products. I think the outlook for the coming days is that caution should really be on the run, because Israeli retaliation, a US hawkish narrative, China's failed stimulus plan is really going to put the appetite for risk at the downward trend, despite an uptick the fact that President Trump might be a possibility based on polymark bets showing that President Trump has an upper hand after Elon Musk made that hilarious speech a few days ago. So, Ladi, it's really showing on the markets right now, and that's why you can see that the bulls have been unable to really stay strong, despite the fact Bitcoin is above $60,000.
Right. And talking about most of these meme coins now, most have come out from Telegram. We've had the likes of Dogs, we've had the likes of Hamster Kombat actually list, most of these tokens, even though some of the investors were unhappy with what they got, with especially Hamster Kombat. But the tokens are in the market now. Do you think these tokens will be valuable at some point?
Yeah, so if you look at CATS, for example, CATS, I think one of the mistakes of Hamster the token that had strong exposure around many Nigerians, was practically it relied more on the play to earn mechanism rather than investors' liquidity. And you could understand that markets without a substantial amount of liquidity will definitely have a tall order in a space that has more than 50,000 listed altcoins in place. So if you look at the Memecoins coming in the aftermath of Hamster, it has a mixed dynamic situation where there is influx of investors' liquidity and also a built-up ecosystem that will bring in excitement. So, categorically, Mimi are very volatile, but we've seen Mimi coins recently bringing out huge returns. But Ladi, to be honest with you, I think the outlook for Mimi is not so good, because if you look at the amount of Mimi coins released on a daily basis, it tells you that the dilution of mainstreams like Dodge, Shiba Inu, Pepe has come to stay. So it's a short-term approach, and investors are advised to really put in funds that they can afford to lose, despite the opportunity for growth. It's a very risky asset.
Right, it's quite interesting. There are just too many altcoins in this market, and being an investor, you're trying to find the ones that actually make sense. Is definitely a tall order. So many altcoins out there. But thank you so much, Olumide Adesina, for bringing us up to speed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, Ladi. Thank you so much.